are the Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexi. I'm Allie.
I'm Olivia.
I'm Carly.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Crystal.
Okay, so to start off with some rules, this beach ball is going to come into play a little bit during our discussion, just as like a talking ball. And so the big thing with that is if you have the beach ball, everyone else should be respecting that person and listening to their ideas. And so we'll be doing like some small groups, and then when you share out to the big group, the beach ball will be the spokesperson in that group has the beach ball, and it'll just be trickled around to go through the groups. And then at the very end will be a big circle discussion with everyone. And with that, the beach ball, same thing, the speaker has a beach ball. And then once you're done talking and sharing an idea, kind of wait, and if someone's raising their hand, obviously you hit the beach ball to them. But if no one has their hand up, you are free to hit it anywhere, to anyone. And be ready to catch the beach ball that's coming at you, obviously. And then share an idea if you feel like you would like to. I think that's the majority of our rules. Just be really respectful and listen to your classmates.
Okay, so for our next section, we're going to talk about the body things that we made. So find the partner that you made your picture with, and then find another group of partners so you guys can all talk. So get into groups of 4 or 5. So with your partner and those other partners. And once you found your group, you can spec out your body by.
Does someone in your group want to video? Have we decided, or I'll do it? If no, okay.
Alright guys. So what I'm going to have you guys do is that I'm going to share what we did for junior first, and then I'm going to have you guys do the same thing and share in your groups, and then we'll come together as a group discussion and have people volunteer to share their body biographies. So we did ours about junior. So we kind of have them split down the middle, this half being his reservation half, and this half being his half at Ridgeon High School. So we have a couple things. We have, in his brain, we have the comics, and that kind of shows his stream of consciousness and how that's a way for him to like reflect and represent the things that he's going through. We have his BFF being Rowdy and their connection being basketball, even despite all the conflict they went through as a friend, as friends. In the end, basketball kind of brought them together and was always the underlying commonality. At the bottom, we have a broken beer bottle because kind of at his foundation, there's a lot of alcoholism problems with people on the reservation and Native Americans, and just how that he's seen that reflected in his life in a lot of not great ways. And then his kind of heart and like his spine and foundation, we have a family tree of sorts. We have people important to him on his reservation side, like his parents and Rowdy and his sister and his grandmother. And the other side, people he's created relationships with outside his reservation, Penelope and Roger and Coach. We also have this kind of vision of hope and what he's hoping for in the future, and just seeing things change and being different than like the stereotype. We have an apple because he was called that for being red on the outside and white on the inside that people would stereotype against him. We have a group of faces with one brown in the middle, and just showing how he was an outcast for the majority of the book and in his new life, and even though he was accepted, he still was different. And then school being a big part and how he excelled. And then our quote that we thought really kind of represented our picture was, "It was like being an Indian was my job, but it was only a part-time job," and how he kind of felt split in different ways. So you guys can go ahead and share with the people in your group, and then we'll come together and talk about it.
So we did his father. There wasn't a ton about his father, so there was mostly that he liked basketball and that he struggled with alcoholism. So those are kind of the big parts for this. I would say one big point is his spine is like a wine bottle or whatever type of alcohol it needs to be, and because that in ways kind of was like his crutch, kind of what kept him upright, but at the same time, you kind of got the impression from the book that he really liked his family. Like, it wasn't like, despite how terrible of a father he was at times, like his son seemed like still loved him and appreciated him. And I have a quote here. The last line of it is just, he may have not loved me perfectly, but he loved me as well as he could. So I felt like that was pretty well.
Yeah, and so then in the background, we put the fish and the trees for the reservation and Spokane Indians, and then we put his feet as a working car and a non-working car, and the quote sums it up pretty well. But to kind of show how he wasn't always reliable on a lot of things, and so and the fact that one of the things that Junior relied on him for was not he couldn't give it to Junior.
Okay, we did Penelope, and we kind of split her into two sides of who she is to the point and who she is to Arnold. And who she is to Arnold is kind of like the inside of her, I guess, because she reveals a lot to him. But to the world, we used her kind of beautiful face to show that she's popular and desirable to, I guess, just everyone. And then I said go away is when she is that when she's throwing up? Yeah, it's when she's throwing up in the bathroom, and then Junior comes in, and then she yells at him to go away. She's kind of like tough, and she can handle it by herself. And then we did speech, and the quote is, if I didn't take Penelope, then she would have certainly gone with somebody else, and it just kind of shows that she's wanted by boys. Okay, to Arnold, we put for her tears that she started to cry for me, and that was like the first time that anybody ever cried for Junior, and that is when she found out that he was poor after the dance, when they were at the diner. And then also that she's scared all the time, but nobody will let her be scared. It's just that she has to put on in front for everybody, but inside she's not okay. And then Junior finds out that she's bulimic, so we put, I'm only bulimic when I'm throwing up, and that's kind of like a secret that she shares with him. Well, I don't know if she shares it, we can find out. And then it talks about how Junior has a little piece of her heart. And then it talks about how she wants to be an architect. So we said honor hands because they want to build something beautiful because they want to be remembered. And then we talked about how she wears dresses up for Halloween. She says, I'm wearing this to protest the treatment of homeless people. And then when they go to the dance together, they dance 19 dances, 19 songs, and she says, oh my god, that suit is beautiful. Talks about how she starts to like it. So, yeah, anything to add? No.
Alright, so bring it back in. Sure. Okay, so we're going to have